De facto podcast is privileged to have been founded on Wadjuk Noongar land.
We pay our respects to the traditional owners of this land and express our sincere gratitude for their ongoing guidance as we work in their community.
You so 3,000 and late. Comedic genius.
That's what I'm saying.
I am. That took me way too long to realise that it was William.
Yes.
Yeah. And Flo Rida is also
that his
Florida.
name?
Huh?
Is that his name? Oh, Florida.
Yeah.
Oh, you can sort your head out, bro.
What's with my hair?
Like a big...
We'll fix it. I can't see that far away.
Why have you got a side part?
Because that's my cowlick, okay? It's my, what do you call it? Is it fixed?
Yeah, now put your head... Why is your hair so long?
It's not.
It's really long. It's grown really quickly.
Ratty and it's orange because my hairdresser has been
super
away
long.
for fucking ever.
It looks nice.
I'm actually told Kate the other day that I'm going to be one of those people in 5 years who's held bald because all I've been doing lately is the slick back.
Who's
hair
Kate?
look.
Do you mean me?
Yeah, but I'm telling my friends
That are listening.
that are listening.
Oh.
Okay,
Oh, yeah, we did have that
because I already told
conversation.
you, so I'm not going to tell you again.
I was like, when did we even have this conversation? Let me have some water. Hold on.
All right, are we on? Yeah, okay. Well, I was talking to my friends already, so if we're on. Otherwise, I'd look like just referring to you in third person.
Yeah,
when
that's
no
why I was like,
you? Who's the other Kate?
who's Kate?
Like when your friends talk about someone, like their other friend, and you never heard of them before, and you're like, who's that?
that person?
I don't know about that.
Who are they?
First of all, we have to do an intro. I just
let's
realised we haven't done the intro. Okay, so welcome back to another episode of
No,
Day.
you didn't say hello.
Oh, didn't I?
No, you got to go, hello.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Day Facto, where we discuss our 9 to 5 kind of relationships in another podcast literally no one asked for.
Not one person.
I'm Nicolette,
I'm Kate.
and it's just us today.
No Lainey because, well, we've all had really fucked busy weeks, so we're just trying to fit this in
Yeah.
where we can. And Lainey,
Is away.
she's away. She's
At work.
working.
And Kate and I are actually on the verge of Menti B, both of us. So we'll just keep you updated on how that goes. Many things, many fingers, many holes. It's all happening.
This episode could go rogue just on the fact that my emotions are all over the shop. I think it's because I'm, hoping I'm going to get my period today, tomorrow, hoping. But I haven't noticed myself menstruating yet. So there always is that underlying fear of, am I pregnant or not? But I do use condoms these days. So
These days. That's good.
so I'm hoping that I'm not.
Yeah, no, that's definitely important. I just want to say, big soccer fan. Me?
Oh, go the
Huge.
Tillies. Go
Up
the
the
Tillies.
Tillies.
The question is, though, what does offside mean?
Offside. Do you want me to explain it to
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
Okay, I'm probably going to get this wrong though, so no soccer fans or people come at me. So if they're going, so their goals are up this end and then their opposition goals are this end, they can't be like hanging around the goals that they're trying to score unless another of the opposition team is between the goals and them. So like you couldn't, in like netball where like GS and GK like hang out in the goal circle.
Yeah.
It would be like GS being like at the goal. You'd have to have the GK between the goal and the GS person in order to get the ball and score.
Oh, well, that's going to reduce your chances of getting a goal.
Yeah, because then all the other team obviously moves further up the field, so no Matildas can hang out at the goals they're trying to score at. So it's just like a play. Like it means you can't hang up there, so everyone has to be like following the crowd sort of.
All I'm saying is you're just running too much. This is why I was never centre. I cannot be fucked running that much. Now, I know I'm doing my long running at the moment, but there's different. This is why I never could do centre with netball. Put me in GK. Let me stand by the goals.
Yeah.
And because I was in a really good team, ball never came that way.
Fair enough.
I'd say I added value to that team.
Well, they got to have GK, otherwise they can't play. I was a GA girl, a GA or centre.
Of course you were.
Yeah.
Of course you were.
Because as the listeners agreed, I am the runner. So centre or GA, that was me.
I'm still filthy about that whole running thing because I did a 16K run on the weekend and I did my fastest kilometre splits that I've ever done, ever. And so I think we should do a revote.
I reckon marathon these days, Kate will probably outrun me.
Yes.
Maybe purely just because I'm competitive. Actually, I'm not that competitive, but maybe I'll sign up for this marathon just to see.
Oh, fuck off. No, get your own activity. This is my thing now.
I would get the worst shin splints and I don't think I'd be able to walk for a week.
Good. Anyway, a huge shout out to today's sponsors, who are the Tillies.
The Tillies,
They've
of course.
actually reached out to us. They'd like to sponsor this
They
episode.
have. And I just want to say, I'm living for the vibes.
Oh, the vibes.
The vibes are high. And you know what I'm also living for? The men getting into it.
Absolutely.
Like, I have seen so many guys, like, and then when they won the penalty shootout the other week, and all the people, like AFL teams, people at like the MCG, Optus Stadium, they all had it on the big screen and everyone was just like erupting. And it was like, fuck yeah, women in sport. Like, it was so good to see.
Yep. 17.6 million people watched the semi. Was it the semis that was just on?
Yeah.
17.6 million people watched it, which is incredible. And I do think it's a big fuck yeah to women's sport. However, I feel like there's also a few forgotten teams like the women's netball team that just won. What a real shame we didn't give them the same support, but definitely a step in the right direction for females in sport.
100%. And also just like even the other day, this little boy goes, he's like, someone's talking about the men's soccer team and then the Matildas, and he's like, oh, no, I was watching it and the Matildas are so tough, like they get hit and they just jump straight back up. The men's, they cry on the ground for 10 minutes.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, this little kid, he knows what's up. It was so good.
And so have we all turned bisexual for Sam Kerr, or is it just me?
No, it's me too.
Yeah.
I was sitting there, I'm like, am I a lesbian? Actually, the whole team, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm like, hot. And apparently there's all this like beef going on because like so many of them are dating everyone. And because Sam Kerr plays for Chelsea in the UK.
Yep.
So apparently like some of those were her team members and like, I mean, Sam Kerr's in a relationship, but like,
yeah,
it would be weird,
playing
wouldn't it?
against your team members would be shit.
And then imagine like playing against someone and then being like, do you want to get a drink after this?
Yeah.
Because like, why not?
True. I need to channel that sort of energy.
Yeah.
So we are doing, today's very exciting. We are actually going to talk about the episode that we didn't do, that we missed, about the story, about my story, about wait and see. Oh, I've mentioned it enough, so I'm sure you know what we're all talking about.
I think we're just going to keep putting this carrot out.
We're going to keep
dangling
dangling
the
it.
carrot, and then each week we're going to be just kidding. Not going to talk about
Well,
it.
do you know what? How many dudes have dangled a carrot in front of me and then slapped it out? So it's a bit of payback for you all.
Exactly. First of all, I just want to say, sometimes I feel my humour is not appreciated.
Oi. Okay, can I just say, when me and Nicolette were in Exmouth and I went and spent my romantic night away, everyone was sitting by the fire and there was a really big bright star or a planet, don't know the difference, don't care, whatever, in the distance. And someone pointed it out. And then I responded in front of everyone and said, oh, is that the submersible? And not a single person laughed. And I thought, fuck you all. You don't appreciate my humour.
It really is a slap in the face. I want to say what I said last night. So in Zach's family group chat.
Yep.
So he's got his sisters and parents and brother-in-law in there. And then his sister's on a Europe trip and she sent through a bunch of photos. I think they're in Croatia or something now.
Flush.
And she was just like talking about like Croatia before gastro ruined it. So obviously she's having a bit of a hard time. I think like she's doing Kentucky. So I think heaps of people are getting sick and whatever. And I was like, yeah, preach. Like that's what happens on Kentucky, right? I mean, you know, having said that, I never had gastro. That would be the pits.
Yeah.
But Kentucky cough, obviously COVID's going to go around. Come on, you're on a bus. Anyway, they were talking about how they had COVID and then she's saying how like now there's like a gastro outbreak. And then he goes, Zach's brother-in-law goes, oh, like let's take bets on what the next outbreak's going to be. And he was like, oh, I think it could be like, wait, what did you say? I got to find it. Oh, he's like, surely we're due for a pink eye outbreak. And I said, surely chlamydia. Not a single laugh react to my comment. And I was like, fuck you guys, that was funny.
Did Zach not even like
No, Zach was asleep. And then I personally messaged Zach. I was like, I'm a bit offended. That was so funny. He was like, oh, sorry, I'm half asleep because he was like already in bed. And I was like, okay, well, that was funny. So fuck you guys.
You don't deserve my humour.
And then I also said, because before that we were talking about the gastro outbreak, and then I said, oh, like I wish I got gastro on my Europe trip. It would have helped me shed off the 10 kilos I gained. I only got one laugh react out of that. The rest of you all need to have a lesson in comedy.
Do you know what I'm saying? They're jealous. They're jealous of your humour, babe.
And I'm there cracking up to myself, like, fuck yeah, that was a good one. That would have gone off in my group chat. That would have got 10 bloody laugh reacts to it.
Now, I've just pulled up our notes and I've been reminded of a story that I didn't tell you. This is... Because I think we ran out of time. Okay, this guy that I was seeing amongst all the guys that I've seen, not naming him, he told me that he had a recurring nightmare. You know, you have those nightmares when you're a kid. Mine is that my teeth crumble and fall out.
Yeah.
His recurring nightmare is that he would get. I'm sorry for laughing because it's.
I want to know what it is now.
Trigger warning before I say it. Just going to very briefly talk about sexual assault. Anyway, his nightmare was that he would get stuck in the pantry in Kath and Kim's house, and Kath day night and Kim would be in the pantry, locked him in, trying to touch him and assault him.
That is so niche. What the fuck? He watched too much Kath and Kim.
And I thought, I'm sorry. I said, I'm sorry, that's really horrible dream. But also, I do love a bit of Kath and Kim.
Was he dead serious?
Yes, serious.
Oh.
Serious undertones. And it was really tough for me.
Yeah.
I can't believe I haven't told you this yet.
Him just sweating in bed, having a full nightmare about it.
Okay, Nick, what's been happening?
Well, obviously the Matildas took up a large portion of my week.
Yep.
What else has been happening? I honestly just been working so much this week as well, as of you. Pretty much just having a mentee bee or on the verge of one.
Yeah, cool.
But that's pretty much it. I did want to say though, you know when you see things, okay, you know how obviously when people are talking on their phones, I mean online and they use those like abbreviated, like LOL obviously is the one everyone
Ruffle
knows.
mayo.
Ruffle mayo. All
Be right
those.
back, burb.
You know like SMH, like shaking my head?
Nah,
That one?
I would have had to Google that.
Okay, so I always thought for ages when I'd say something like blah, 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 SMH, I thought they're going shma. like shma. Like whatever.
Like a ugh.
Yeah, like a shma. And then once I said shma, someone was like, what's shma? And I was like, you know, like SMH. They're like, no, that means like shaking my head. And I was shocked. So then it made me think, what else did I not understand when I was like doing these things? And I thought, so IMO, so in my opinion.
No,
I was just like, emo, like just another word for saying my opinion, emo.
Yeah.
And then I also thought when I was younger, you know 10-pin bowling?
Yep.
I thought it was 10-pin bowling.
10-pin, like one word.
Like 10-pin.
Like spelt TNPIN, one word.
Yeah,
10-pin.
like 10-pin
Bowling.
And then it hit me when I was like probably 15. Then I was like, it's 10 pins that you're knocking over. And then the last one, on a oot, outfit of the day.
Ooh-ta-da.
What the fuck is that? That's not even a fucking abbreviation. And then I never knew that goat meant for greatest of all time. I thought goats were just really cool. So like, oh, you're the goat. And I was like, that makes sense. Goats are pretty cool. And then it took me again way too long to realise.
I only found out about goat about 4 months ago. So
Yeah, well,
don't
there
worry,
you go.
I've only just stepped up
So
to the
me and
plate.
you were like, fuck yeah, goats.
Well, I never heard people even use the term goat.
Yeah.
Ever. And then it just came out of nowhere. In my life, it popped up out of nowhere.
You know who's a goat?
Me.
Sam Kerr.
Yeah, go Sam.
Yeah. I can love her. What's been happening with you?
A little bit. I just have a story. Me and Nicolette, I've always got a story. Me and Nicolette went to the sauna last night, and this is a clear example of how big our egos have got now that we're recognisable on the street. There was this guy at the sauna who I had previously sauned with. One time. On Sunday last week, it was me, this guy, a really ripped ex-SAS dude, and then basically another guy who looked like the ex-SAS dude's son.
All I'm saying is, ladies, get yourself
Get
down
to the
there.
sauna. The son was probably 25, hot, ripped. Me and him actually did chat at the end, and turns out he lives a couple of streets away from me. So don't worry, gals. I'm really trying to tee that up. I'm trying to run into him again. I dropped my dating apps had to reinstate my dating apps, put them down to a kilometre and did the swiping.
Because Kate likes to keep all her men in a 1 kilometre radius.
We know that.
Yeah.
We know that. Mm-hmm. And I swiped and swiped, couldn't find him. So now I have to run into him at the sauna. But I am, side note, trying to, when I see him next, I'm going to approach him with the potential idea of him being my running buddy for the mornings when it's dark.
Okay.
Which is a great idea. Anyway, that's beside the point. There was another dude in there who was great chat. Just going to stop this because my phone's listening and writing all of this down. I don't know how that happened. Fucking whatever. He was at the sauna last night. When we both rocked up there, we acknowledged each other, had a little chat, and then we went off into our respective saunas, which was different. However, this is how big my ego is getting. I actually could barely fit through the door in the sauna because my head.
Lube up ahead.
Yeah. When I took my break to go for an ocean dip in the sauna, I noticed as soon as I walked past his sauna, he was out. Right?
Suspicious.
Obsessed. Then we swam together, we chatted, we went back into our saunas, and then at the end he came up and chatted with me, asked me when I was saunaing this weekend, and then booked his sauna based off my sauna activities.
Keen.
Right? And then we chatted, and then Nicolette came back, I introduced the two, and then they chatted, and then he left. And then I said to Nicolette, I think he's keen on me, right? And we had this little chat. I go, I reckon he's into me. And then we had a little chat, and then Nicolette goes, well, actually, I thought he was into me. and then we both went, actually, I think he might just be a nice guy.
I was like, well, this guy is obsessed. He's chatting so much. And then Kate was thinking the same. I was like, well, maybe he's actually just a decent person and we're like not used to that.
And our egos are so big that we think that if people want to chat to us, they're in love with us. They're in love with us.
Me flashing my ring around. Well, back off, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm engaged.
I'm engaged.
But, okay, this is what I want to talk about with Kate sometimes picking the wrong type of men. When he walked off and I said, Kate, he's lovely.
He was good looking.
And Kate goes, yeah, you reckon? And I said, yes, this is sometimes the issue is you go for the fuckboys.
Yeah, I know.
And I just want to say, give the nice guy a chance. I reckon, you know what I know you're going to say? He was too clean for me.
No, I didn't mind the cleanness. Just a bit short.
Do you reckon he was that short?
I don't know. I can't tell a height though, but it gave me short
Okay, he was a
vibes.
little bit taller than me, so I don't think he was that short.
He does have a good job though.
Yeah, he does.
Smart. Beautiful eyes.
Very, very nice. Saunas.
And I love a sauna.
All right, get him on the phone. Get him on the phone.
Well, I tried to find him on social media last night. I couldn't do it. Which is, I know. And I know his name as well, which is really hard. So that happened. We've had an update with the other sauna guy, the bedwetter. One of my colleagues went to a community centre to do some activities on one night during the week. Got chatting with someone there, left, messaged me the next day. And this is the message. Let me bring it up. And just everyone, chat amongst yourself. Chat.
Hello.
Okay. He goes, do you remember talking to a guy about how he doesn't vote and he's studying XYZ? Anyway, I can't remember what his name was. And then he goes, anywho, I met him last night at the community shed I go to, and he referred to a woman working in consent. And I said, is her name Kate? Turns out it was you. Sounds like you had an interesting interaction. I think you dodged a bullet. Anyway, so this dude, the bedwetter, keeps appearing in my life. It was the bedwetter. My colleague has gone to the local community shed. They've somehow I have come up in conversation and they've connected the two of us.
Wow.
And that apparently this guy made a few comments that weren't in my favour of my reputation. So
it's not nice to drag people's reputations.
No, it's not nice. What? And to do that on a public platform, how could he?
Not on.
Anywho, I would just say he is the gift that keeps on giving.
This guy is everywhere.
Everywhere.
I've never even met the guy, and I swear he's everywhere. I feel like I'm going to bump into him soon.
That's the second person that has
knows him.
Knows him.
Yeah.
And they didn't know him before.
No,
and
weird.
all the dots are connecting.
It gets around.
Yeah. And my last story is last night I was out for a wine with my friend and I got a video from someone that I used to date when I lived up north. Great guy, absolute legend, cannot fault him. We just I mean, I just moved to Perth and then that was it. But I haven't spoken to him. The last message between us was in 2021. But if I saw him, we would always have a big hug and a chat. Anyway, he just sends me a video and I thought, what could it be? Right?
What is it?
It was just a video. He was in his car and he zoomed in on the song that was playing on the radio, Dire Straits' Money for Nothing.
Oh.
And we know that is my favourite song.
Did he know that that's your favourite song?
So this is what I said. Let me find the message. So I'm thinking, does he know that's my favourite song? What's the relevance behind this? And then I said, oh my God, that's the best song in the world, because it is. Mm-hmm. And then I said, I hope you think of me every time you hear it. And then he goes, I listen to it all the time and you introduced me to it. The love eyes emoji.
Whoa, obsessed.
Obsessed.
Absolutely obsessed.
So he hears this song and he just thinks of me. Wow. But also, how did I introduce you to Dire Straits?
Yeah, concerned.
Concerning.
How old is this guy?
Yeah.
Like, surely.
It's Dire Straits.
Yeah. You know what else happened during the week is I called up on the phone to make an appointment. And you know what I think they need to bring back is teaching us the phonic alphabet.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like your mum's like, you know, Foxtrot, uniform,
Charlie,
Kilo, obviously, because everyone knows those ones. And I was on the phone and I'm like trying to explain it. And they're like, I'm like, N for none your business. Like, vulva, I don't know. Like, I just feel like this. I never know what to say. And they're like, what? And I'm like, I don't know, just fucking figure it out. Like, I need to bring back teaching people. Or I need to get it printed out and like put it on the wall or something.
Put it on the back of your toilet door, like your times tables. Nicolette still has her times tables on the back of her toilet door. It's really cute.
Tables. Yeah, it's really nice. Keeps you on your toes. But yeah, I just reckon we need to do that. But then I also think the person on the opposite end, you know, if they're probably under 30,
they don't know it either.
They probably don't know it either.
Yeah.
So unless it's Foxtrot, uniform.
This reminds me of
Kilo.
My mum, where every single time she gets asked to spell our surname, every single time, sorry, Mum, I love you, but she'll always go like this, R-A-S, S for Sam, T-O-N. Every time, and I know you do it, Mum. R-A-S, S for Sam, T-O-N. That's it.
Good job.
And I understand S and F on the phone, hard to
S-F.
distinguish, but she knows the phonetic alphabet.
And it's not going to be Rafton.
What a loser name. That's pretty cool. Rastafari.
Rafton. Okay, Rafton.
It's not that funny. It's just a last name.
No, but if it was an F.
Rafton.
It would sound like you have a massive list.
Oh.
Okay, Rafton. No hate to lists though, so I'm just saying.
Nicolette met last night. Very exciting. She met my new sauna friend, Helena. What did you think?
I saw her from a mile away and I thought, I bet that's Helena, but Kate wasn't there yet, so I didn't want to be like, hello, because then I was like, oh, you know, what if it's not her?
Yeah.
But you know what I did notice that really made her stand out?
What?
The water shoes.
The water shoes, the bright orange.
She wears bright orange water shoes and she comes into the sauna. I was like, when she sits down. Bless her, she is adorable. Her sister's an interior designer. Yep. White taps.
They're getting white taps. The reason they're getting white taps, actually, well, her sister is an interior designer now. She's just bought this new apartment. Mm-hmm. Anyway, we covered a lot of topics last night.
She's got three. And I said, can I have one?
And at the end of the sauna, we clapped out all the new sauna people, didn't we?
We did. And you know what else we'd planned? A Christmas party.
We did a Christmas party too.
Alina goes, we should have a sauna Christmas party. And Kate goes, should we have members and non-members? And I said it would be nice to combine them all. Yep. You know, a little bit. Segregating is not good. So
and I said, I'll bring the cob. And I thought we could keep the cob in the sauna, keep it warm.
Yeah, and we said it'll be like a walk-in oven. So we'll leave the sausage rolls on the cob. We'll probably keep the sauce outside though.
Yeah.
And you walk in, you do a little lap, you grab your
walk-in
little
pantry,
bits,
but
and you
hot.
come out. And then, so we said Kate would bring the cob, pop it on the coals in the sauna, heat it up, get it all cheesy and melted, and then we can all dig into the cob.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm on Rocky Road, but then we thought that could melt.
It could melt very
Christmas.
easily.
So maybe I'll just bring cookies or something. Like Christmassy. Crayfish towels.
Oh, the good crayfish
I'll
towels.
actually catch a crayfish and then I'll bring it up and cook it on the coals.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anything
is that
hot
it?
top? Yeah, that's all. That's the shit. That's the shit. Hot top. What have you got for me? I have some hot tops if yours are shit.
Go.
So
Hit me with your hot top.
Oh, okay. Well, mine's a bit serious.
Okay.
I wanted to talk about, I've got to get rid of all these conversations I've just read to you all. I wanted to talk about, no offense, Nicolette, hetero relationships and the privilege of those in Western culture.
Oh, 100%. I agree with that.
Go on.
No, you go.
Oh, I was just going to say, definitely, and I'm just referring to Western culture. Hetero relationships, there is so much privilege to being in that sort of a relationship. And I'm going to compare it to being in a single relationship first. Again, no.
None taken. Hit me.
Okay, the first thing I feel like the financial gain of being in a relationship is huge.
Yeah, 100%.
To buy a house, to basically do anything, is the gain is so much more than a single person. Also, I want to talk about in terms of finances. If you think about like someone, particularly at my age, a lot of my friends are having kids, getting married. They've got fucking first birthdays coming up. Also first birthdays, like that's for their kids, but there's also some for the dog, whatever. I don't know. But as someone attending those events, you're expected to show up, buy a gift, bring a plate of food.
Yep.
So like you're giving so much money, obviously to support and show love for your friends, but then you're never getting that back for you.
100%. I saw a TikTok about that, and it was like saying about how, single people spend so much more money on married people.
Yeah.
And I totally agree with that. Like if you're going to weddings, children's birthday parties,
engagement
parties, and I'll agree, even in a relationship, I'm like, oh, fucking more money. Like, but like obviously you're happy to spend it because it's your friends and stuff like that, but it does add up for sure. And I'll openly admit I never would have been able to buy a house if I wasn't with Zach. Like I wouldn't have bought that on a single income. Not in this economy.
It's fucked.
Yeah,
then there's also like the legal benefit of work as well. Of, I don't know, I always think about when you fill out all your like government paperwork and it's like marital status, married, de facto, and then at the lower end, barely on the page, single.
Yeah, you got to move a couple more centimetres. Takes a lot of time.
Yeah. Which I guess is like a hierarchy, right? Of in Western culture of
married first,
which is in a Western culture, being married is the be all and end all
100%.
in our culture. It's like
you put on a pedestal
if you're
in your especially even if you have a kid.
Yeah,
we've already got people asking us when we're having kids.
Yeah,
and I just laugh it off because obviously hopefully one day I can have kids, but you never know. Like, you know what's going to happen. And B, I'm just like, oh, not till I'm old. Because I'm like, I don't need to answer
well, you're still a child right now.
Yeah, a child bride even.
Yeah. But also, I guess just the emphasis that it is placed on single people on finding someone. And I guess I think single people do that to themselves, put that pressure on a lot of people. I'm not saying all people, but definitely a lot of people do. But that definitely comes from the cultural expectation that's the goal in life is to be married or 100%. To be in a relationship.
Yeah.
And then lastly, I also think like the support that you then lack, because if all your friends are in relationships, they've all got their other person for support. And I know we get different support from different people, but as a single person, you don't have that. You know, you kind of rely on little bits from all your friends.
Yeah, and I agree. And that's why especially when I was single as well, obviously I haven't been single for a while, but like when people would like, oh, I can't do that weekend, I'm hanging out with my boyfriend or something. And you're like, but you see them every night. Yeah. Or whatever. Or like people like cancelling plans to see their boyfriend or whatever. And I guess maybe like I'm lucky, or not lucky, I guess it has its benefits, but like Zach working FIFO and he's away for 2 weeks at a time, it's good that I can be like, oh, girls' night Wednesday night, or like go over there and do this and do that and not have to like constantly be like, oh, what are you doing? And check in with someone else.
Yeah.
But yeah, I reckon what our friends did recently, she went to London and she had like this huge going away party, hired a magician. Yeah, hired a magician, like just made it this huge party about her. And I was like, fuck yeah, like why not? You know, like you celebrate everyone else's big milestones. And I feel like we need to celebrate more things like finishing your degree, getting a PhD, like all these exciting things.
Being single for 12 months.
Yeah, literally.
Whatever.
All these exciting things that aren't just like weddings or having a baby.
Yeah. And like career stuff as well.
Yeah, career stuff.
Like I feel like we should have a party for ourselves for all the cool, amazing career shit we've achieved recently.
100%. We should. Let's do that.
Yeah.
BYO.
And bring a gift though. I want my gifts back.
Bring a present.
All the presents I've given you, give them back.
Absolutely.
And then on the same note, I wanted to talk about how cisgendered people also have privilege in our culture.
Yeah, for sure.
I do think I am under the impression that gender shouldn't be a thing because me and Nicolette were talking about this the other day. My interpretation, and this comes from, and I can't remember the philosopher's name off the top of my head. I should have written it down, but I'm not prepared. And I agree with this philosopher that gender is an outward expression of you. And if it's an outward expression, it cannot be an internal expression. And therefore, it is an act. And if something is an act, it is a performance and it can be taken away. So if we take away gender, I feel like, in my eyes, we take away a lot of these issues because you obviously have your sex, which is what you are assigned at birth. You have your sexual orientation, which is whom you are attracted to. And then how you act, how you perform, the way you dress, the way your mannerisms, whatever they are. If we take away labeling those things, and I feel like the world would be a much better place because you can just exist as who you are without being labeled. But what I wanted to say is cisgendered people have so much privilege in this world. I think Western culture, and again, only Western because this is very different in a lot of other cultures, the benefits you have of outwardly identifying with your internal sex is huge. And I think about identification, right? It's like male, female, other. And if you're an other, that's the only option you have. Or if some identification, there is only male and female. So if you, select female, but your gender is not female and you do not identify as female, but that's the option that you have, that's your identification, right? With all your legal documents. And your identification is your identity. So if your identity is not true to who you are, imagine that's just such a fucked up place to be in, and I couldn't imagine the mental strain of that.
Yeah, 100%. That would be pretty wild. And also just like back to hetero relationships as well, like just being able to walk down the street and hold hands and not worry about like people's comments or thoughts, because there is still a lot of homophobic people in the world, and people that will like, it can still be dangerous in some places too. Like obviously Australia's a lot better than places like in Saudi Arabia or whatever, but there's still like risks and stuff with it too.
It's even the worry about. Yeah, it's even the word heteronormativity, and like for that word to even exist shows that there's a problem, because normativity meaning normal, so hetero is normal. That makes everything else other than that seem unnormal and unnatural. So I'm like, even the fact that word exists shows that in our culture, being hetero is so normal and so superior, and I'm doing superior in little quotation marks, compared to homosexuality or bisexuality. And do you know what I did learn the other day?
What?
I think a lot of people think bisexuality, bi meaning two, means male or female, but it doesn't. It means same, so like same sex, or other.
Oh, interesting.
So, because obviously bisexual, if it was male or female, doesn't include people that are trans or non-binary or intersex. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting actually.
And I also did learn that bisexuality is a dying sexuality because it's not supported by heterosexuality, and it's also homosexuality that doesn't.
Oh, so they're kind of like in this like middle area where they don't really belong.
Yeah.
But you know what?
So
because society loves to put everyone into a little box.
Absolutely.
And that's why we have obviously genders and everything like that, because people need a label.
Yeah, and
otherwise
why?
They'll freak out.
Why do we need to label?
You know what else? Back to hetero relationships too. Did you see that TikTok, of course, saying, and then it was obviously based on a study, but women gain 7 hours of additional housework weekly when they marry a man. Ooh. So like, and that is without children, and that's with both working.
Really?
Yeah. So that was what this study showed. So just by living with a man, you gain 7 hours of additional housework.
Oh, come on.
And I'm
men.
like, I just fucking don't know where it begins. Like, is it, obviously we're saying like, girls don't put up with that shit. But then at the same time, it's like, men be fucking better. And then does it literally come all the way back to the way people are raising their sons and not expecting the same thing that they expect their daughters to?
But then it goes further back than that, and that goes back to the patriarchy. That's exactly what it goes back to.
And then that also comes with people being like, oh, like the fucking boy mum shit that you hear all the time.
Yeah.
Like they make it their whole identity. And then I also have a theory, and obviously this is just a very broad theory, and this has nothing to do with Zach because he does more housework than me. And the mental load, he definitely carries that more than me as well. But people, like mothers, I reckon, those crazy ones, full baby their sons and like don't let them do anything, do everything for them. So when they move out, they have to call their mum to ask, like, oh, how do you do this? How do I do that? Can you do this for
How
me?
do I make a doctor's appointment?
And it's literally a way of keeping them, like, reliant on their mothers.
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
Don't you reckon that's so true? Obviously, that is not my mother-in-law at all, and that's not any of the mums that I know. They're all amazing. But I can see that in certain boys.
Yeah.
And they do that because daughters, I just think, call their parents more. And again, maybe it's just more normalised, patriarchy, I don't know. But sons, I don't reckon, check in on their parents as much, and that just makes them a way to be like, Mum, I just, needed. They want to feel needed.
Yep. Okay, I say we get into the episode because we can't keep dangling this carrot for much longer.
I thought we were having great chats on this episode, though.
We are, but I want to tell the story. Okay, I'm telling the story. It's called All Bran Cereal, anyone, and that is because the person we're talking about, his nickname, unfortunately, was All Bran Cereal. Because All Bran Cereal is the most boringest cereal that exists, right?
Yeah, I'd say it's up there.
I feel you got Fruit Loops.
What?
Top tier is,
I
is
thought you
Fruit
meant
Loops.
Fruit Loops were
no,
boring.
top tier is Fruit Loops. Just below that, Cocoa Pops. Below that, Special K. Ooh, yum. And then right at the bottom, All Bran. Boring.
Yeah, boring.
And this guy was a bit boring. But do you know what he was? A 10 out of 10 hot.
That's
10
really,
out of 10 hot.
You know why? Because they've always been hot. They didn't have to get a personality, I reckon.
Exactly. They
Yeah.
didn't have to get some humour like us.
You got to get a bit humbling and bullying when you're young.
Yeah.
Makes you funny.
So I met this person at a gym many moons ago when I was in my early 20s. And this gym was actually north of the river.
Whoa, crazy.
Crazy. I
Actually didn't know it was north of the river.
Yeah.
More territory.
Now, I worked on this guy. I worked on hooking up with him for months.
Yeah.
Months. 2 months I put the work in. Basically what I did is
Hard yards.
I did the hard yards.
Yeah.
It was stressful. I had to follow him first. So he was a trainer at my gym. I should have said that. And I used to do the classes. He used to take the classes. I had to start with a follow. And then he was a surfer. So then I had to start posting some surfing content. So it was really targeted content that I was posting.
Did you make it like you hide your story for everyone but him? So
No, I put it out there for everyone. And so after I started posting that, he could see that I actually was a surfer, right? And I needed him to know that. Then what we did, I just started with a few little reactions to his Instagram story, right?
Yeah.
Right? A few little chats at the gym. And then the big day came. The day to pounce came. So it'd been 2 months of hard work and it arrived. It was his birthday. And I thought, what a great opportunity to really slide into his DMs. So you know what I did?
What?
Nicolette slept away from the microphone.
What?
there. What? Basically, I said, happy birthday on his Instagram story. So it
I
wasn't...
hope you used protection.
Yeah, I know.
That's pretty fast.
I know. So it wasn't a direct DM slide. It was a story comment. But I knew that could open up
A DM slide.
a DM slide.
Yeah, for sure.
Obviously, he responded with a thanks. I responded with a, surely you've got something exciting planned for tonight. He said, no. I say,
Boring.
what a shame. And then he says, well, should we go out for a drink? And I shit you not, I was sitting outside with my housemate at the time. She was having a dart. All of this was happening. He asked me for a drink. I did a double fist pump to the sky because I knew then and
You
there
made it.
I'd made it. All of my dreams had come true. So,
I mean, I'm a bit concerned that he had nothing to do on his birthday or no one to hang out with.
yeah, exactly.
Or Bran.
I had just waxed my lip and done a few other things. So I really had to
Important.
hustle to get ready because I had a bright red lip. We had
Ooh,
to cake on the makeup. I had Shez curl in my hair. I was putting on the makeup. We were ready to go. Met him for a drink. We got drunk. We went home and we slept together. Sex was actually, I would say he's very well endowed. Big schlong. The sex was pretty good. I would say a bit of a selfish lover though. Bit of a selfish
Always
lover.
a selfish lover.
Yeah. After that, we started going out on dates, mostly bar crawls, right? But, you know, although he was low-key boring, when he got drunk, he was like low-key funny.
Oh, so
You
you,
know?
just need him to be a little bit
Just needed to be a little bit drunk.
That's healthy.
Yeah. But I was also pretty nervous because he was a lot older and way hotter Well, not way. Well,
Not way hotter.
in my eyes, way hotter.
Older just does make them a bit more intimidating too.
Yeah, yeah. And so this was all going on whilst I was training at this gym. So it also added that little extra bit of spice because he would be the coach for the classes, and like
That would have made you try extra hard too.
and like it was a little secret, and so like at the time I thought nobody knew, but now what I do know is apparently everyone knew. I've found out after the fact. Apparently everyone was like, yeah, we all knew that you guys were hooking up. And I was like, oh, well, now it's not as fun.
Yeah, that's not fun.
So one night, so he went away for a little bit on a holiday. He came back. He invited me out for drinks with his friends. So I went out and I met his friends. So I'm assuming this is going very well. Like, I'm meeting your friends.
You're in.
We did the classic bar crawl, and then we went back to his house. And this is where it all went a little bit astray. So we'd had sex. We've fallen asleep. At about 2 or 3 a.m., he's gotten up to go to the toilet. Now, his toilet, it wasn't connected to the bedroom, but the walls touching shared wall. Right. He goes to the toilet and literally does the loudest shit I've ever heard. And I'm just going to make it clear, I've done some very loud shits because I do dabble in IBS, right?
Happens to the best of us.
And the problems I want to point out in this scenario are, number one, I'm holding on to my shit. I'm laying in bed with my nuss so tight.
Wait, were you at his house?
I was at his house.
Yeah, his house.
I haven't done a shit because we've only been dating for a little bit, and I know if I go to the toilet, it's probably going to be just as bad. But I'm holding on.
You're being respectful.
So can you hold on
Yeah.
until I leave? Number one. Number two, it was like 3 a.m. and he didn't shut the bedroom door. He obviously shut the door to the toilet, but not the bedroom door. Not enough soundproofing.
Wow, must have been a big one.
It was a big, loud shit. Okay.
Wait, okay,
So-
did he think you were asleep?
Okay, so here's a fucked up thing.
Who also needs to do a massive dump at 3 a.m.? That's weird.
Well, I think after you've been drinking and stuff.
Still.
And I don't even know if the dump itself was big, but it was the ricocheting in the toilet seat, in the toilet bowl. So I'm thinking in my mind, well, fuck, he probably thinks I'm still asleep. And that's why, and so he's gone to the toilet. And so I've thought, I'll just pretend to be asleep because I don't want him to feel embarrassed, right? Because again, I know I get it.
Nah, I would have embarrassed him.
But so I pretend to be asleep, but he comes back into the room, picks up the water glass, and then taps me and goes, would you like some water? So he knows the shit was that loud that it's woken me up and I'll be there awake.
I would have gone, oh, what's that smell? You're just sitting there like twiddling your fingers.
I
Like,
literally was like, wow. Like, and the thing is though, it kind of gave me the ick. And I just want to make this clear. If we were in a relationship or further down the line in dating, I get it. You do
gotta
get
go.
the shits.
You gotta go.
But like at that point in time, wait until I've gone. Or if you know it's going to be loud, put a bit of buffer music on.
Kate loves a buffer
We
music.
know every time I do a shit at Nick's house, I got to put
Which
the
is
buffer
probably
music.
every time she comes over, the music
Yeah.
straight up 100.
Yeah.
But you know what? I respect that.
Well, you know, I just don't want you to hear my plops.
Even sometimes a loud wee. Like, I always feel like a bit,
Yeah.
like, I mean, I never shut the door when I go to the toilet at my own house because I'm
Yeah.
like, well, whatever, but, you know.
Live there. Yeah. So then after that point, we never really spoke again.
So that icked you out, some would say?
It icked me out so hard.
Yeah.
And again, if we were in a relationship, it wouldn't be a problem because I get it. But it was so early on, so loud, no buffer music, not even a double door closing. And the fact that he would assume that I would be awake kills me.
Nah.
It
Nah.
kills me.
I reckon that would have given me the ick
Yeah.
big time.
Also, he did just have a mattress on the floor as well. So
I saw a video the other day and this chick had a mattress on the floor and then she went to she'd bought a bed base and she went to change her mattress, and the bottom of the mattress was all moldy because apparently you can't just have a mattress on the floor.
No.
It needs airflow.
It does.
And she said it was like 2 inches thick with mold.
That's fucked.
How gross is that? So don't put your mattress on the floor, people.
Yeah, and another word of advice for this very quick story, which I could have, given you more info, but whatever, is I understand we all have urges, but you got to hold it in the early days.
You do,
You
yeah.
got to hold it in.
And I hate that there's this double standard. Like, I feel like chicks say they hold in their farts and poops all the time. And then dudes are just letting it rip. No, you're still icking it out. Just as you don't want to hear a girl's crap, they don't want to hear yours.
Yeah.
It's gross.
Absolutely. Until you're a bit further down the line, fucking free for all. You don't want cramps and all that sort of shit. But earlier on, sometimes you got to cop it. Bit of buffer music works great. So here's a few of my tricks actually if I'm pooping at someone's house. If they've got a shower in the bathroom, turn the shower on.
Oh.
Yeah, I do that.
So are they like just having a shower?
Probably, yeah. But you know what? I'd rather them think I was weird and having a shower than doing a hell loud shit.
Okay, what about public toilets? Do you poop?
I didn't for a very long time, but now I'm like, I'm shitting. But I'm timing my exit, which we've talked about before.
We have talked about.
If someone comes in whilst I'm pooing, I'm not going to get up until they've left because I don't want the potential of them flushing and seeing me whilst I'm washing my hair and putting a face to the shit.
Yeah. But you know what's great? I love going to the toilet in shopping centres where there's like 50 cubicles.
Yep.
And you can walk in and you can just freely poop because there's 100 other cubicles. No one's waiting on yours.
Yep.
No one sees you when you go in because they're usually gone by the time you get out.
Yep.
But a 2 cubicle situation with a line,
Stress.
that's when you've got an issue.
I'm not shitting in that.
No, especially this one. Right, so you're at the front of the line. 2 people are in the 2 available cubicles. There's a line. 1 cubicle, the chick comes out, the next chick goes in, next chick comes out, next chick goes in. And meanwhile, cubicle A hasn't moved. So you're getting suspicious. You're thinking, is anyone actually in that cubicle or are they having a massive sit? And then you're sitting there like, I really hope cubicle A doesn't come out because I'm next and I'm have to go in the poop toilet.
Oh.
So you're like, come on, cubicle B, and it's a real stress.
That's giving me anxiety.
yeah,
thinking
stressful.
About that.
Probably no one thinks about this as much as I do, but it really...
No, I'm all for that. I also really appreciate a restaurant where they have toilets with music playing inside.
Yes, play the music.
Everyone should be doing that.
Play the music for sure. Little bit of, and a scent like a candle or like a spray, something
bit of
like
spray.
that.
I reckon all toilets should have
Yeah.
spray. But I don't want to touch.
No, like a
automatic.
yeah, one of those for sure. And if
you will.
you leave skitties.
Hold on, just take it back. I just made a joke to the beginning of earlier part.
What'd you say?
Smooth. And you missed it.
I missed it. Sorry. A puff, a goat. You know what they are? They are the goat.
They are the goat.
Those little automatic incensors. Sometimes they freak you out though. You walk in and it goes,
Yeah.
what? Freeze.
Oh, you didn't know there was one in there and you were just sitting there and then you hear pss, and you're like,
What was that? My friend had one in her toilet all the time. I literally for like 10 years I was like, every time I went in. Scared me for sure. How that's that like the orange power one? We've had that in our toilet for a while. I just keep filling it up with water because I keep forgetting to replace it. But then it's kind of tainted the smell of oranges and orange juice.
It does.
It makes you think of poop.
The first time I was introduced to the orange power, my best friend Anna, she was having a birthday party and her mum must have just bought some of that orange power spray and she was like, this is amazing, smell this, and like sprayed it. Me and her, obsessed with it. And we kept spraying it for like the whole day, just around the home. And from then on, it's too much.
Now it just smells like poop.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also the VI poo. Have you smelt that one before?
Oh.
No, it's a little pink one. My friends have it.
Is it the same as the poopery? Like that you put in the water?
I don't know. Poopery. Sorry, that's so funny.
Poopery is the spray you spray onto the water in the toilet bowl, and apparently as the poo plops into the water bowl, it stops the smell coming up above the water. But I think that's bullshit because I don't think
It could stop it.
the water.
No.
Can smells come out of water? I guess seaweed.
No, I think so because as well, they always say if you're going to the toilet, you should always shut the lid and flush to stop all the bacteria and germs coming out when you flush. However, I don't like touching the toilet seat, but I will kick it down. But then you always get nervous when it's down.
I'm not doing that in a public seat.
No, don't want to touch
At
it.
home, I always put it down.
Yeah, for sure. And then they need automatic hand washers and hand dryers and then no door to leave because I hate it when you have to then touch the door like fuel stations and shit. But mind you, they're
Yeah.
just gross in general.
And can we just talk about real quick while on the topic of toilets? The Bunbury Farmers Market. The fuck is with the toilet sink?
Is with that.
So there's the toilet, and then behind the toilet is a toilet sink, and it's tiny. So you have to wash your hands over the flush button, and you're at the same time it's tiny, so you're touching everything else. And then obviously the toilet seat gets wet as your wet fingers go. It's fucked.
But you know why that is? It's to save water because when it's refilling up the pump, no, it's not dirty water.
I know that there's something about the water at the top of the toilet that disgusts me.
I wouldn't drink it, but it's coming out of a pipe and going into the toilet bowl, into the toilet filter. It's not coming out of the toilet. It's just like turning on a tap, but it's the mindset.
Vibe. It's the
sure.
vibe.
Also, what's the Bunbury Farmers Market? If you have been there, it's the world's best food shop.
Absolutely.
It's fresh produce. It's this little like line, so it's a big loop. You don't miss anything.
And they, since COVID, they've brought back the free cheese tasters as well, which is a real excitement.
People using COVID still to get out of giving free stuff,
Nah.
not into it. But they have literally 3 toilets in the random part of it. I don't think they knew it was going to be that big.
The toilets are halfway through the thing. So if you go in, you have to walk the whole lap just to go. If you just want to go to the toilet, but if you forget to pee once you've left, you have to go back in.
And if you forget something, so say by the time you get to the pasta section and you need veggies, you're fucked.
You got to go back.
You have to weave all the way back through, and it's like a freeway. It's like going backwards on the freeway.
It's embarrassing
and
too.
Everyone looks at you like you're going against the traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's stressful and it's intense. But fuck, they have good food.
They have great food.
Fresh, delicious food. And that was our tangent. So
Is there anything else to talk about?
is there anything else? Let me just double check that. I think that's pretty much everything. Although I did just want to say, I'm looking for a coffee table at the moment and I don't want to spend $500. So I've been checking Marketplace. I am sick to death of people reselling shit for the most ludicrous prices. How good's the word ludicrous? But it's like a coffee table that is clearly Kmart. Like you can just tell.
Yeah.
And they're like $200. And I want to message them and be like, hey, where'd you... And it doesn't say the brand. It doesn't say where they got it
Yeah, because
from.
it's Anko.
Yeah. Or it's like bought from Empire Warehouse, which is a really expensive shop. And then it'll be like $100 for the coffee table. And I click on it. I'm like, $100? That's not bad. Click on it. The whole middle has been like karate chopped. Like you can't use it. It's not functioning. It's got this huge hole in the middle of it. And it goes, hence the price. A hole in the middle, hence the price. Bought for $500. Babe, it's broken. You can't sell it for $100 just because it's Empire.
That's scrap on the street.
That is scrap. And they're just saying because they got it. People need to realise that brands depreciate over time.
Yeah.
I don't care if you got it from Empire Warehouse. If you got it 10 years ago,
It's fucking worth
it's
nothing.
$50 now if you
Yeah.
got it for $500.
Yeah.
You can't sell it for another fucking $450.
Nah.
Over it. Stop using it for
Have-
silly prices.
Yeah, you got to get on your local Buy Nothing page, doll. There's
Oh,
actually
they don't.
really good-
They haven't accepted me. I've tried 10 times. I don't think I'm legit. I think you know why? Because they're very particular. I would say.
Well, that's just rude.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's actually all we have time for today. We are de facto. Follow us, like us, share us on Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, Apple, fucking Play.
ECT.
Whatever it's called. I don't know. Follow me on Instagram, Kate Raston, Kateraston. Follow
That's
Nicolette.
S for Sam.
S for Sam.
And then you follow me too.
I'm actually releasing a book really soon, guys, and I would love you all to purchase it with dollars.
It's not for free.
It's not for free. I want to make a bit of money. So follow me so you can find out when my book's coming out. Anyway, that's all we have time for.
Over and out.